Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late February 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis out there. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guides, talk to me about these Geminis as we are moving into Pisces season. What's going on for my friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms, just to see what's in the shadows or what shadow work you might need to lean into. It's a beautiful deck, but I always find that part interesting. Let's get into it though. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini, please, and thank you. In late February, as the seasons are going to be switching soon enough, right? What do we got here? Thank you. Nice and quick. Okay, wow. I always find this image pretty funny because we have a lady with a tree growing out of her head, but there's a lot of emphasis on knowledge. Okay, there could be a lot of mental activity as well. That's not really surprising in a Gemini reading. We all know that mentally you guys are very active and intellectual. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this funny little card. So when you look at the imagery here, we see that woman. She's in a beautiful dress. She has a tree growing out of her head. But the good thing I like about this is that the tree is bearing fruit. So this is really good for brainstorming ideas or coming up with really good positive ideas. It does indicate a lot of thinking, a lot of thought, but it's in the positive swing. So for a lot of you, there could be a lot of really good creative ideas coming to you in this time that you should jot down. You could be having eureka moments and aha moments. For another portion of you, notice there's a lot of books. So this does imply knowledge. And once again, I know a lot of Geminis, very knowledge-driven individuals, so that might be extra fired up for you, whether you're learning new things, learning about new things, going down rabbit holes. There's a lot of mental activity here with this card, and I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad way. Now, for a small portion of you, yeah, maybe you're overthinking something a little bit, or maybe something's on your mind and it's like going over and over. But for most of you, I feel like this is really good mental activity. We also have a little bit of communication showing up in that, so there might be interesting talks. But let's put her down right over there. She could keep growing that tree out of her head. Let's get into tarot now. And I always say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's see what we have for Gemini here, please, my guides. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. You actually had a bonus midweek as well, so let's talk about both of those. Your last weekend reading was titled A Serious Win. Your bonus reading for February in the middle of the week was a surprising problem. So talk about duality. A lot of people know that Geminis are dualistic in nature. So for some of you, there could be a lot of ups and downs in this time. But yeah, we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. You know how it goes. Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Gemini friends, please. What do we have for late February? What's going on? All right, little guarded energy here. We have the 9 of Wands. Hopefully it's not a blockage of some sort. We'll see. Because once again, just like the bonus I saw for you, this could sometimes indicate a problem. Not fully going to go there just yet. Let's get a couple more here. You might have your guard up in one way, or this could be someone you're connected to. All right, so we do have some karmic energy in the center. We have Lady Justice. That's going to be important. That's going to be a very important card. Fire-air combination, so we have the explosive energy as well. Let's get one more out here for Gemini, please, late February. Thank you. Okay, so you have a bonus this week as well. On the back end, we do have the Ace of Wands, so this is a very fiery type of energy we're picking up for you in late February. You also have the 5 of Swords here on the back end. So there's going to be a couple things for us to really take a look at here, Gemini. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get into the intuitive, juicy stuff. Now, at first look, first glance, I already mentioned it a little bit, pardon me. The fact that we have the fire-air combination. Notice we have the two wands here. We have the swords here. Lady Justice, which is Libra energy, is also air. So we have the fire-air combo, which can sometimes be volatile. I always mention it because it could be unpredictable. Now, it can be very good for motivation and moving things forward, making progress. But the unpredictability and explosive energy is something we always want to keep an extra eye on here, especially like with Justice and then the guarded energy. Like there's a lot happening, and it could be separate things. It could be all one thing, but let's go through piece by piece, make sense with what I saw for you in your bonus reading this week. But position number one, let's build this out. The Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. So for a portion of you, you might be recovering from something in this time. Okay, so whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, this is the Wounded Warrior. It's somebody that's been through some things and they have their guard up. They don't want to go through it again. Sometimes it could speak of perceived blockages. So whether it's blockages in communication, walls that you're building, like emotional blocks, things like that. Now, it could also be territorial. This could be something that's very protective. So you might be feeling protective or territorial more so than you normally do when this card is in the mix. In its most challenging aspect, I do feel like this could be someone that's a little too cautious or a little too protective. Worst case scenario, it could be someone that's very possessive around you as well. But generally, to me, it's just a card of caution. So I do often see it when there's problems or certain situations that might need to be looked at a little closer. So we'll get into that. Okay, for some of you, it could just be blockages in communication, especially with an ace here as well. But moving to the center, I feel like this is a very important card for this spread. We have Lady Justice. Now, for some of you, might just be connected to a Libra when Lady Justice is in the mix, and she means a lot of different things. For a portion of you, it could represent legal situations. It could represent contractual things. I know here in the US, it's tax season. Lady Justice rules over that. So anything contractual or legal, she's in the mix here. If not, she's a card of balance. It could be fair decisions and equality, things like that, trying to balance things out. This can be a very good card. But I always mention with Lady Justice, if it's not balancing or making a decision, it is the biggest karmic card in the whole entire deck. So whether we're looking at someone getting served up a dose of karma, whether it's a karmic reward or just the universe making things right in one way or another, we'll see what this is about. Karma generally does speak about the cycles of life and the journeys that we go on as well. So I feel like she's an important cornerstone to this reading, and we'll look at her a little further. Okay, now on to the back end. So once again, we have the fire to start, we have the air in the center, and we have the fiery Ace of Wands here on the back end. Now, all aces represent opportunities and offers. So this could be a good thing. Now, when it comes to offers and opportunities, I always say it's up to you to take action and to take that opportunity or offer. If not, it can wither up. You always have freedom of choice when it comes to this energy. I think of passion, drive, and motivation generally with this. Could be a communication or a talk, especially with all the fire and air. Could be one that gets a little hot and heavy. We'll see when we clarify it, but this could absolutely be a conversation or message of some sort when we have this Ace of Wands. In its positive sense, like I said, it's motivated, but it could also be a little out of hand, a little out of control, unpredictable, so to speak. Now, another thing, the Ace of Wands is a very sexual energy as well. You know, that's totally opposite. So for some Geminis, maybe your libido is a little heightened more than normal, right? You see how it goes with cards? It could be little things, it could be big things. Onto your bonus card, because we're not going to linger there too much. We'll keep it PG. We have the Five of Swords. Now, this card could be either really, really good or it's something to watch out for. So when I see the Five of Swords, first thing I think of is conflict. People butting heads. This could represent a person in your life that's a little bit selfish, a little self-motivated. In its worst case scenario, it could be a narcissistic individual, very self-centered, but at the same time, it could also represent determination to win, pardon me, or determination to get over something, which can be really good. Sometimes Spirit says, like, hey, focus on yourself when this card shows up, or there's something that you need to focus on within when we have this Five of Swords. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Gemini friends. See what's happening, my guides. Talk to me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Nine of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, 9 of Wands time. Why is it here? Maybe we'll get a little water energy to cool us off a little bit. Why is this 9 of Wands here? Thank you. Oh, wishful thinking, huh? So they're 5 of Wands underneath the 9 of Wands, and I get it. I mean, for some of you, there could be a situation or an individual that you might be avoiding or tiptoeing around. Like, this is kind of giving me the energy of somebody walking on eggshells. Now, for another portion of you, you might just be retracting your energy because you don't got time for no nonsense. You don't have any time for any BS. It's like, okay, I see these people over there. They're beating the crap out of each other with sticks. There's a lot of conflict happening. I'm cool over here. Okay, like, yeah, I've been through that. So you might really have your guard up. Some of you might even be in like hermit mode where it's like, yeah, I'm pulled back. I'm not playing with that. I'm not messing around with that energy. So there is this cautious vibe I see going on here. But once again, it's just giving me the oddest feeling here. I don't think this is someone who has like conflicted feelings or anything like that. To me, the main thing is it's a little avoidant, or just someone who's like, yeah, I'm not participating in that. Okay, so whether it is work-related, interpersonal related, it's somebody who sees something going on and it's like, yeah, I'll be over here. So take from that what you will, my friends. Now, similarly to the 5 of Swords, now we have repeating 5, so keep your eyes open for the repeating signs, numbers, synchronicities in this time. Spirit could be trying to direct you. This is a conflict-based card. Okay, it also is determination at the same time, so there could be some healing going on, trying to recharge the batteries, so on and so forth. But to me, it's just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll be over here. Like, I know where that's going already. So once again, just like we saw in the reading for your bonus, like there might be problems or situations happening where it's like, yeah, I'll be over there. I don't want to get involved. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. I'm not going to linger there too much. Let's see why Lady Justice is here. I feel like she's really important, especially with the Ace of Wands next to her. So why is Lady Justice in the mix? Okay. King of Swords. So all fire and air so far, very, very explosive. For a lot of you, you could be in a very important cycle of life right now. Okay, because remember, King of Swords is not gender specific. Okay, so it could be male, female, anything in between. Air sign and energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we see all this energy lingering around. Now, the King of Swords is sometimes analytical. It's plan-based. It's strategic. So I do like this energy for the most part. It's very serious and stern. So when I see it under Lady Justice, like, yeah, there could be certain things you are making judgment calls on or decisions about. But once again, this is a karmic warning for a lot of Geminis, or this is Spirit saying like, hey, Gemini, someone that you're connected to, they could be getting served up their karmic dose for something that they've done. I feel like it's one or the other here. Now, only take whichever one hits. You don't always witness the karma that other people get. Okay, that's another thing I'm picking up. But with all this fire, air, explosive energy, it's just all over the place. So a lot of things could be happening suddenly here. Just to really sum up what I'm feeling there, a lot of you could be in a very important mode of life or cycle that you're moving into. Could also be you making judgment calls about people, situations, and things, but I'm also getting that karmic warning in a big way, or somebody getting served up a dose. Let's move over to the Ace of Wands, because that King of Swords is very stern and serious. But let's see what the Ace of Wands has to say. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is the Ace of Wands here? Could definitely be explosive situations going on, or ones that could go multiple ways. Okay, 8 of Cups in reverse. So there is a cycle returning as well. Okay, we have the 8 of Cups in reverse underneath this Ace of Wands. Okay. That is one of my big cards of either not being able to refuse something or somebody returning. Okay, so just keep that in mind, especially with the Ace of Wands here. There could be somebody coming back in to give you an offer in the coming days and weeks. It's up to you if you take it or not. But the 8 of Cups is an action card to me. It's a card of someone moving forward, moving past, moving on to something, taking an action, making a big move. So whenever I see it in reverse, it's like, no, I'm staying put or I'm coming back around. Okay, but for another portion of you, there might be a situation, someone, something that you're dealing with that you might bring that energy into the next new cycle that you're moving into. Because remember, aces are new. So just keep that in mind. If you're experiencing change and transformation, it I mean, if you want to, that's a cool thing. If it's something that you're wanting to heal from and leave in the past, that's another. So there could be returns of various different kinds, okay? Whether it is people, whether it's behaviors, whether it's thought patterns. That's just a big intuitive vibe I'm picking up here. And I've been seeing that for a lot of the zodiac in recent weeks. Now seems to be the time of year where a lot of people are having to reprocess or revisit things. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Lots of stuff happening here, Gemini. If you kindly look in the box, all fire and air for the most part, except for this 8 of Cups in reverse. So we have the 9 of Wands with the 5 of Wands. I did say it could be something you're keeping your distance from. A lot of Geminis might be in hermit mode. Like, yeah, I don't have time for that. You could literally be making judgment calls with the energy we have here in the mix as well, but it's kind of like a distancing type of energy. So whether it's something you're not wanting to get involved in, or it's like, yeah, I'm not messing around with that. I know where this is going. So keep your eyes open in the coming days and weeks, for sure. It could be a problem or situation that could be explosive with all the fire and air. Moving to the center, we have Lady Justice with the King of Swords in the upright. So there's that judgment call being made. And I do think you'll make the right one if you are making judgments. But once again, big karmic warning for all air signs in specific, but especially Gemini here with Lady Justice on there. And it could also be someone you're connected to that's going to get their karmic retribution in one way or another, whether you witness it or you don't. On to the back end, we have the Ace of Wands with the 8 of Cups in reverse. The returning, revisiting type of energy is here in the mix as well. Or there's just something, whether a thought, whether a person, whether a behavior that you can't quite let go of in this time, that's like really difficult to let go of. So take from that what you will. Remember, this could be someone else's energies. Please take a screenshot of that if you'd like to look into it further. Let's get you a shadow card here. Let's see what's in the shadows for the lovely Geminis. It was much more volatile than I was expecting it to be. And I know you had a string not too long ago where there was like all fire and air for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's back. But let's see what's up. Oh, and yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see just yet. Doesn't always have to be a challenge. Sometimes the shadow card could be very good. So let's get you yours. And yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love and appreciation for my channel members. Let's get it going here. What do we got for Gemini in the shadows? Quick. Nice and quick. The Emperor, huh? Okay, for some of you, watch out for issues and power struggles with authority figures in this time. That's first and foremost. Another portion of you, the Emperor does link to Aries season, so I might need to highlight Aries season for a big portion of you. There could be some significant things coming up for you within the next couple of months whenever we have the Emperor here. But this is a representative of the divine masculine energy, so it could be situations with father figures, older male figures, anything like that. And when I see it, I do think like big boss energy. So in this time, Gemini, I know Geminis could sometimes be rebellious in their ways. You might be a little extra rebellious when we have the Emperor in the shadows, or there's something about authority that's going to rub you the wrong way. Keep that in mind. Now, for some of you, this could be you taking control of a situation or you taking control of yourself. If that's the case, that's a beautiful thing. That's a good energy. Okay, as long as it's not overly controlling and stuff like that. But I can't let go of that message, like watch out for authority figures in this time because they might be rubbing you the wrong way. So Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details, the February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, please feel free to go over to my website, mastermetaphysics.com, to check out my digital calendar. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my go-to decks, and it is absolutely awesome. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot suits, which one vibes with your energy the best? Is it the Wands, the Pentacles, Cups, or Swords? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of February, I'll announce winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.